Hello! The video that follows is a compilation of comic readings and commentaries from my series, Hellgate. This video covers issues 1 through 10 of the series, also known as the Red Flame issues. Hellgate is a comic series I started when I was 15 in 2003 and ran until 2009. And while the story and the art is very old and far below my current ability, the story started here continues in my current series, Heavengate. And I think this may be an easier way for some to experience the original story. As for the video itself, I do some art streams every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday over at twitch.tv/Jaeger_comics. There, viewers can spend their channel points to make me do a comic reading. So stop by sometime if you ever want to see one of these live. This video is made up of footage from one of these streams. Alright, so, a little backstory before we start. So as I just mentioned, I started Hellgate the day I read my first issue of Shonen Jump. The first issue is the shortest. It is done entirely in pencil except for the cover, which was drawn by hand and then scanned and then colored in Microsoft Paint with a computer mouse that had a roller ball in it. It was a dark time. Okay, so this is Battle 1, Jesse's Eyes, the first issue of Hellgate. I'll just do a read through and then I'll come back with the commentary on specific stuff. So, very good, Jesse. I did okay. Jesse, are you okay? I'm fine, but where the hell did you guys learn fighting moves like that? Internet? Thank you so much. What about me? I helped too. We beat him up big time. He won't touch Jessica again. Okay. His eyes are closed. We KO'd them too hard for them to be open. Smirk. He's a demon. Jesse, hold my glass. Hold these for me. I can't believe that thing grabbed my ass. Are the sound effects helping, guys? His hair went from brown to blonde. So, what took you so long to transform?
I wanted to hear your foolish victory speech before I killed you all.
What the hell is going on? I'll explain later. Now is not the time.
Yarr! Hast dies meiner dirt, wo's mit squid what's meiner quits fit on junch.
I have no idea what the hell you just said, but it's over.
Rah! Parsed.
It did that last time too? Dude, when that guy was lying on the ground, I could tell he was a demon. So you're telling me you can see demons in human form? Seems that way. What the hell is going on? Internet?
Don't pull that crap.
Well, it all started. And then next time is Battle 2, Hellgate. See the origins of how the sword was found and the unlocking of the Hellgate. Alright, so in retrospect, that makes little sense. Okay, commentary time. Okay, so this is not the original cover for this issue. The first cover I had designed was just Jesse's eyes, which if you look at Jesse, he just has closed eyes. So that was a very uninteresting cover. It was too literal to the title, and thankfully I moved on and just came with this more generic, this more panned out, here's the fight that's going to happen. So I'm very happy I did that. So this is supposed to be a cold open, right? So it's supposed to be it just throws you into the action without explaining much. It's just we can see that there's some sort of argument between Neil and Jesse and this guy lying on the ground. Jesse appears to have just kicked him right in the face, and we can tell from context later that he apparently groped Jessica's behind. So other thing to note here is that she's called Jessie in this first issue with just the C and the A missing, because that's these are based off real people in my life at the time, and that's what we called her. But I quickly realized that that's way too confusing to have two characters named Jessie with just a letter difference. So thankfully I did not do that. Yeah, I didn't know about scaling properly, and like I definitely would not draw it this way again. It looks like he's giving the demon head. That's not fun. Oh, this is funny. We KO'd him too hard. I did that because I didn't know how to spell knocked out. Yep, that's some. And also, you may notice a space here between the N and the exclamation point. It's because I didn't know how to spell demon either at the time. I put a D at the end, which in hindsight would have been kind of cool. Like, oh, it's a different thing. It's like demon. It's like this similar, but it's its own specific thing. No, I just literally spelled demon wrong, and I had to go in and erase it in Microsoft Paint, so you can see there's a space there. And if the color balance was quite right with the stream right now, you could also see that it's actual pure white there because the page itself is not pure white, but it is where I erased the letter D on the word demon all over this. And so this might be hard to tell, but basically he's reaching over here to his left side or his right side with his left hand. And his hand disappears. And when it comes back, he's pulled out the handle of a sword, and then he can pull the full sword out. And if you look at like what I'm working on now, like that's still a thing. Like his sword still just kind of floats there in this pocket dimension all these years later, although I'm better at portraying it now. But back to that, and then his hair transforms. Everyone loves Hammerspace. Essentially, yes. Before I knew what Hammerspace was, that's essentially what it was. It was canonized, logical, in-universe Hammerspace. And then this here makes no sense, but within a few issues, I put out a translator so you could decode demon language. It's a lot like the Al Bhed language in Final Fantasy X, where it's just a cipher. But I slowly phased it out only because people, most of my readers weren't bothering to use it, and it just meant that there was whole parts of the plot that they weren't getting, so I just stopped using it. There's also a cipher for the demon letters, which I still use here and there. This is a little janky here, this inversion, because in Microsoft Paint you can't freely zoom in and out. You have set zoom angles, so I couldn't, like this right side here was as zoomed out as I could be on this page, so I had to invert that and then move over there and invert that. So, and then fun fact, I completely forgot to shade his shirt in the last panel. That'll haunt me forever. But that is issue 1. You're about to pull a token and create a language. Again, more like a cipher. It's you know, like Al Bhed. And eventually I did actually update it because it was very hard to read because I didn't really match up vowels. So you had letters, you had words that were all consonants, which were impossible to read. So I ended up changing the cipher a bit so that you at least, for the most part, it would always have vowels in the sentence. And you can actually see the physical or the demon letters here on this cave wall. But yeah, that is Battle 1, Jesse's Eyes. Thank you so much for it. This issue was made in 2003, I believe, just right at the end of the school year, because I made the first issue around spring break, and this issue got done right before school year ended. Because I remember 3 is what I worked on all summer that summer. And yeah, so I'm going to, well, I'll start by talking about the cover, then we'll do a little review of the last issue, and then I'll read the issue, and then we'll do some commentary. So this is Battle 2, Hellgate. It is the issue of Hellgate that's called Hellgate. All right, let me see over here. Our synopsis for the previous issue, the previous cover for that matter, which was Battle 1, Jesse's Eye, is when a demon attacks Jessica, Neil is forced to reveal a magic sword from an invisible sheath, while Jesse finds out about his ability to see demons while in human form. And that's, I guess, a pretty good synopsis. I could probably write it better now, but essentially all the first issue was is a big purple demon showed up. Neil, this brown-haired kid, pulled a sword out of frickin' nowhere. His hair turned gold, and he was able to slay the demon. and his friend Jesse realizes that he was able to detect the demon while it hid in human form, and Jessica has no idea what the hell's going on. And so this issue is Neil taking it from there, explaining what the hell's going on. So here we go. Like I said, it all started in the woods. Kitty! No, Jesse. It was me and Jesse. Huh? Ah! Pitfall. Almost as believable as the one in Final Fantasy IV we saw yesterday. Son of a kitty. What the hell? Dude, look at that. Are these letters? This isn't English. Hey, this sword has my last name on it. Jager. That must make it mine. Should you be biting it? Damn it. Just trying all kinds of goofy different ways. You can't see my cursor at all. That's fun. All type of goofy ways of trying to get this sword out of the door. And then I also have this bio on the side for funsies. The first time I actually named the character. Because I didn't actually mention his name in the first issue. Neil Jaeger. Age 15, blood type O, birth date December 19th. No relation. Whoosh. It came out. Rumbling. I don't know if I can make a rumbling sound by shaking my desk, but maybe I'll do this. As the gate opens. It's opening! Eyes? I don't know what to do about these scenes without text, so I guess I'm going to make fake sound effects. Whatever the hell that was, I think it's over. Tink, 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 tink. Close. The hell? I wish you guys could see my cursor because I'm doing all kinds of weird shit. What?
I said, thank you. You just opened the Hellgate and sent countless demons on the world. Did you know that? Of course not. Oh my, the only sword that can slay demons, but you can't even lift it, can you? Of course not. Lie.
You see him get sucked up into the gem. Bastard. Oh, the rust is gone. Can we go now? I should take this. I found the invisible teeth later that day. What about the hair change? After a little toying around with the sword, I uncovered the transformation. I can see better like that too. So, how big is it? What? The sword. Oh. Why? What were you thinking? Well, pervert. This whole comic's goddamn cringe. That's harsh. What a hypocrite. Poof. Meow. Kitty. We'll discuss things. When I do the commentary.
Next time on Hellgate, Battle 3, the girl who overcame the demons and the boy who was just overcome. When one of Neil's friends is kidnapped by the demon boss, will Neil be able to fight a whole army of demons?
Alright, let's catch up with chat, and then I'll get into the commentary. Team Rocket Pitfall, pretty much. It's a sword, blood type. Yeah, you said before you named him after yourself in one, and then when your friends gave you shit, you changed it to have no connection. That is true. That's true. His name is never mentioned in the first issue, but it was supposed to be me. But by the time the second issue came around, I had changed my mind on that. So yeah, so again, these covers are made in Microsoft Paint. I sketched them by hand, and then I scanned them, and then colored them in Microsoft Paint. So I got rather good at Microsoft Paint over the years, but it has its limitations. You can actually see this in the Heaven Gate issue I'm working on right now. Whenever there's a flashback, I tend to have this black background, although it was much harder to do back in Microsoft Paint. As you can see, I had to do this weird spray can thing that doesn't blend at all. This whole like kitty thing is just LOL random humor that was big with me back then. So also the real Jesse also did just like go kitty every once in a while. So this Pitfall, Pitfall, my goodness. It's just, you see them and you can see an x-ray that there's a hole underneath them. I did not know how to properly, I just couldn't conceive of how to draw this. So this is the best I could come up with. And it comes across, but I don't think it looks great. This is the first appearance of the Hellgate. The right side is in German. I use Google Translate, so it's probably not great German. And the left side is in a language I made up called the Demon Language, which there's a translator that appears later in the series. And it essentially just translates to something along the lines of, here lies the gate to the underworld, death to anyone who opens this gate. It's like a warning, essentially. As to why it's in German, even though this is taking place in the middle of Illinois, that will be revealed later. And then this bio thing is something I used to see in earlier manga, where they would just use a side panel to give a bio. And Luna mentioned blood type. Yeah, the blood type thing is just because that was also something I saw in manga. Blood type is a big deal in Japan. Like, they put a lot of pseudoscience behind it, like personality and like who you're right to date, essentially like horoscopes. And so I just did it to follow suit, even though I just seemed like I was just following the pattern, you know? I didn't really know about all that behind it. But essentially, yes, Neil Jaeger, especially here early on, is essentially a copy of me, a self-insert character, but I believe that we grow apart, you know. From this point forward, we grow differently. I don't slay demons and he does, and that's gonna change you. So his appearance slowly drifts away from mine, his personality drifts away from mine, and of course his experiences. And yeah, this goofy little scene of me trying to get the sword out. Sorry, Neil. Not much to say there. Of course, here's our first time seeing this gem that pops out of the gate, and all we know so far is that if a demon touches the gem, it can fuse with another demon. That is a key mechanic, so much so that it's a big part of the current issue of Heaven Gate I'm working on. And yeah, then there's this attempt at humor with this whole like, how big is it? What, the sword? Oh, you're a pervert. It just screams early 90s anime cringe, or at least the attempt to try to recreate that. I'm not proud. Also, whenever you see like this paused and lie and stuff like that, there's also a verbal demon language that gets phased out over time because no one would spend the time to translate it, so they were missing information, so I stopped using it to make it easier to read. But I was using it in the early. And then a random kitty appears on his head. Why? Because LOL random. But yes, the next time we'll be reading issue 3 of Hellgate. So thank you for that redeem. This one was made in 2003 still. This is the summer 2003. I remember vividly. I spent the whole summer at my dad's up in Rockford, and I would sit outside on he had a swing bench, and I would just spend my whole day working on this comic. And before MP3 players that could hold our entire 3,000 song music library, the coolest thing my dad had is he had like a 20 disc CD player. You could put like 20 discs in it and set it to shuffle, and it would just pick random songs from the discs. That was the coolest thing to me back then. In the summer of 2003, I was like, whoa, I could just pick whatever, just randomly pick whatever song I want. I just thought it was really cool to have that much of my music library available on a random, Now, God, oof. But anyway, so yeah. And right off the bat, I will tell you with this title, Battle 3, my dad had something like that. Nice. Battle 3, The Girl Who Overcame the Demon and the Boy Who's Just Overcome. This title is completely ripped off of Inuyasha. That is it is almost the title of the first episode of Inuyasha, which I think is The Boy Who Overcame the Demons and the Girl Who Was Just Overcome, or no, The Girl Who Overcame Time and the Boy Who Was Just Overcome. That is the name of the first episode of Inuyasha. Okay, boomer. No, it was me padre that was the boomer. I am a millennial. So here we go. Just like last time, I'm just going to do, well, we'll get to our recap first.
Last time on Hellgate, Jessica found out about Neil and Jesse stumbling upon the gate to hell and how they unintentionally released countless demons on the world. So yeah, we read this earlier today, but if you weren't here for that, so far in the last issue, we saw that Neil and Jesse came across the gate to hell in the woods, and Neil pulled out the sword because it had his name on it, and all the demons came pouring out of the hell gate. And this is where we continue from. Again, I'm going to do a full reading, and then I'll go back page by page and do a little bit of commentary.
Tell me, what info do we have on the holder of the sword and gem?
I have a list here of his most trusted friends.
Pick out the females. That should fire him up.
Yes, sir. Send out 4 worms. Targets Brittany, Jamie, Justine, and Courtney. Eureka High School. I'm telling you, my drawing sucks. Shut up. It does not.
Did a worm
come out of the wall? Neil notices and chucks his glass to the side and reaches for his big heckin' sword. Rah! Ah! What the hell just happened? Oh. So here's distant screaming, I guess is what I was trying to imply there. Brittany, are you okay? I'm fine, John. Was that Neil? Strange. Was Brittany a target? Jamie! Justine! Really lazy shot of them cutting. Oi. It's hard not to do commentary as I go because I'm kind of ashamed of all this. Oh, Danny, thank you. No problem.
Hey, Justine.
Dear God, why Jeff? We're getting a lot of names here. I'll explain that. Someone help. Something ran off with Courtney. Courtney? It's quite the stutter kid. Bastards. That blood. Go to the hell gate. Her. Why her? Why not me? I must hurry, because if anything happens to her, Okay, I'm here. Now what? Boom. What the heck?
Welcome to my castle in the sky, Jaeger.
Can't see.
Can you see now?
Courtney!
We can do this 2 ways, Jaeger. You can hand over the gem and I kill you both quicker. Or you can try and slay all of the demons here, fail, and you both will die slow deaths.
Or I can start running with a sharp object and we can see what happens. A montage of him winning. And then a montage of him starting to lose.
Good.
And then boom. Bastard.
Now I, the demon boss, have the gem once again. Come to me, my loyal followers.
All these demons start to glow and...
Yes, join with me.
Some weird half shot of them both. That just... God.
And now I am the Demon King.
Every demon in one body? Ha! Every demon. I only joined with the few that were here, but I did leave one. Since you didn't give up peacefully, not only will you both suffer, but my friend and your friend will have a little X-rated fun. My horny friend here will do anything that walks. How dare he? Now have at her! Don't you touch her! Not now! Or ever! No, it can't... Untimely, dumbass. What's that light? Us!
Mielbert viel zil, dof die puls wil nind. Quicksnee yeah, pixney for dof. Piv mif. Teleport.
Teleport. Schemo down here in the lower right corner. Schemo. We'll get to that.
Castle, move out. Yes, sir.
All right, who are you?
Vil Neil with Demonic.
The castle was alive? Speak, human.
My name is Demonic.
Speak English.
My name is Demonic. English. Are we in England? What year is it?
We're in the United States of America. The year's 2003.
2003? It's been that long?
Who the heck are you anyway?
Demonic, trainer of the holder of the sword.
When do you plan on untying me? She's a demon. How can I tie you with your foot on my spine?
The world is doomed.
Next time on Hellgate. When Neil learns about the history of the sword, Jesse is called as a training partner and the road trip begins. Comes with a free demon translator. Yay! Okay, that is issue 3 of Hellgate. So, let's see here. A lot to unpack here. A lot to unpack. I remembered a lot of stuff I was going. So, a lot of names get thrown around here. Brittany, Justine, and Jamie and Jeff and Danny. This is because these are all people I knew in high school. This was my main way of getting readers in high school, was to put people in the comic. It made people want to check it out. But yeah, we have the demon boss, the first appearance of him. He's this gooey mess. I like this scene here, this line here. Send out 4 worms, targets Brittany, Jamie, Justine, and Courtney. Like, these mindless worms are going to know these human girls by first name. That was so dumb. Yeah, once again, we have the inversion effect. It looks a little choppy because of how zooming in works on Microsoft Paint. But yeah, stuff like this, like, Brittany, are you okay? I'm fine. John, was that Neil? This is all just name dropping people that I knew to try to get them into the comic. What was funny is, though, that Brittany and John were dating when I drew this page, and by the time the issue came out, they had broken up, so that was a little awkward. All the stuttering is funny. So yeah, here we go. Jamie and Justine, who actually, there's a series I did before Hellgate called The 23rd Dimension. I've never scanned it. It's just about me and Jamie and Justine getting sucked into another dimension where we have spirit powers. It's very strange. But yeah, this is also very lazy. I tried this whole, like, ooh, zoom in of their eyes. Ooh, the eyes. Anime, it's all about the eyes. And no, that's just lazy. It's just lazy. This one, so here again, we got more name dropping. Now this one, you might look right here and see a little smudge on her butt, because originally in the original draft that actually went out, he was like rubbing her butt, because Jeff was known as being kind of a perv. But I was a little worried that was a bit too much, and that people might take issue with, like Justine herself might take issue with that. And so I changed it, and subsequent drafts printings always had this version. Yeah, this is going to be a theme. Neil cries really easy in Hellgate, because I just think it's emotionally powerful, but like looking back, it's just like, no one cries that much. Come on. Or at least, I'm not trying to write a character that cries that. I'm not saying no one cries that much. Everyone's different. I don't want to disparage anyone, but I'm saying, like, that's not what I was going for. I was not going for an exceedingly emotional or sensitive character. It was just every scene was made more powerful by tears. Of course, this scene was reproduced in the newest issue of Heavengate, the scene on the left. I'm much more proud of it in Heavengate, because I honestly got a little bit lazy. A few rows back, after I did the first couple rows of demons, I just started doing these random silhouettes. This is our first appearance of Courtney. She's actually a main character. She'll be with us for all the way up through Heavengate. So Brittany will be a recurring character too, but she looks different every single time, so it's almost stupid. Again, more montages, although this one's I'm more okay with this one, because it's more populated on the page. And of course, we have the first mass fusing of demons to become the Demon King. I'm so not happy with this frame on the left, where it's like a split of their two faces. And it's like, it's not evenly split. It's just a weird scribble down the middle. What's really interesting, if you look here, it said to be continued, because I felt like the issue was going on for too long. which is laughable now. I've done way longer issues now, so I was going to do it in 2 parts, but I ended up changing my mind and just erasing that. First appearance of the Demon King. His design changes quite a bit over the years, especially this eye shape. This whole like sexual assaulty demon, not a choice I would make again. I'm more sensitive to that now because I know friends who have been victimized by sexual assault, and it's no. The point is, I just didn't think about it that much back then. It made for a good, oh no, there's something terrible about to happen and I need to stop it scenario. But I wouldn't even go there now. Do not touch her, not now or ever is a quote from Inuyasha. It was one of my favorite quotes. I just ripped it straight out and put it in my comic. Once again, we have this demon language like Oz and this whole conversation with there. And if I remember the translation, he's just saying hi here. And over here, they're essentially saying something along the lines of, you had me trapped in that pervert, and I do not remember what the Demon King says. But over here, Demonic says, see ya, and then he teleports. Here we can see the original design for the Demon Castle. Much simpler. I could draw much better than that within, weeks of this. But I felt like this was the established design, and so he stays this ugly for the entire series. And I finally forced myself to redesign him for Heaven Gate. Schemo down here, this little scribble with like an O and dot face. That's a character from a previous series. This character goes back to my middle school comic called A Dog Story, which is just me and all my friends as dog people, because I had easier time drawing dog heads than people heads back then. And one character was just called, for some reason, my friend Jeremy just became a scribble with a smiley face on top. And I just said he had a genetic condition that caused him to be a scribble. And when I rebooted it, because I was actually pretty proud of it back in middle school, I had this whole like B plot line where he'd hang out in the woods and people thought he was a monster and they called him Schemo. So that's what that's referencing. And then we have this whole thing. Once again, we have German, which we have not explained yet. I'll save that for when that comes up. I think it comes up next issue, actually. But this is just a way of establishing that, the entire time they were in a flying castle. Also, this line doesn't actually historically make sense. 2003, or English, are we in England? England wasn't a thing 2,000 years ago, which is where Demonic was last around, which will be explained more next issue. But I didn't know that back then. In fact, I don't think English was, the language was around. I don't think it had split from the Germanic languages yet. And just more like, haha, angry girl, beat up boy, classic anime trope, hijinks. Yeah, and last thing I'll say is the cover. We'll see this cover again because we have these two glowing eyes in the background. They will be revealed in later issues, and each time one is revealed, I just recreate this cover and fill in the character. And I don't just fill it in with this version. I mean, I recreate it. So it's actually kind of an interesting way to see my art skill get better over the course of the series. But yeah, there we go. That was longer than the others, but there was a lot to unpack there. That was issue 3. Next time we will check out issue 4, A Planet's Play, which is kind of a hot mess of an issue. Yes. So this is Battle for A Planet's Play. This one is still 2003, so still the first year of the series. Came out in, I believe, probably around the fall, once school had started up again. And then our recap for Battle 3, the girl who overcame the demon, the boy who was just overcome. When demon attack Neil's high school, his friend Courtney is kidnapped. Neil meets the demon boss who steals his red gem so that he can join with other demons to become the Demon King. Neil and Courtney escape with a new friend, Demonic, the trainer of the holder of the sword. So, to catch you up, basically, we have Neil who came across a sword in the woods, in a gate. He pulled the sword out. It released a whole bunch of demons all across the world. Only his sword can slay them. The leader of the demons, the demon boss, is Goopy Monster, kidnapped Neil's friend Courtney, was able to get this red gem off of Neil, which Neil had found in the cavern of the Hellgate, and allowed him to fuse with other demons and become the Demon King. Neil and Courtney escaped, but they are also joined by a little red imp-type creature named Demonic, who claims to be an ally. And so just like before, I will read the issue and then we'll go back through the issue and I'll make some commentary. Tiny Tots! We are here to talk about the last issue of Hellgate. Battle 3, the girl who overcame the demon and the boy who was just overcome. Mostly about the fact that me and Neil are not an item. Nope. He acts like a little kid, and she is very moody. Moody? Yes, very moody. Bam! Now on with the next issue. Battle for a Planet's Plea. Got Neil here running super fast. Good. Now Courtney's home. I will now tell you about the horrific world of tomorrow. Too late. How could... What? I can get info from the wind. I know all that has happened. Now I will tell you about the story of the Jaeger sword. A long time ago, demons couldn't live in the light. So God shined a little light in hell, but the demons became immune to the light and broke free. And what you now call Germany was your great-great-something grandfather. The man known only as Jaeger was given the sword by God himself to slay the demons on earth. The sword was then used to seal the gate, till you pulled it out. Who, me? And we transition to a phone call and a wall of text. We'll get into my issue with that. Well, the cops didn't know what to do about the worm attack at the high school, so they put me and Courtney under house arrest. But the very next day, I got a phone call. It was the president. Demonic told him about what was going on. The president said I should travel around slaying demons. Demonic said I should travel with people I know. He didn't say why. So I had a few weeks before I was to leave. The government would give us money and a car for the trip. So why did you want to see Jesse? Transform and I'll tell you. Your clothes changed. Yeah, Demonic made it so that whenever I transform, my clothes change to this. Now to transform Jesse. I can transform Jesse into a fighting partner. Ready? Wait, what are you? Shine. And then we have a little bio on Jessica Evans. Actually, it's a... I didn't realize I put Edens in here. I actually decided against that, and I'll go into that later. Age 14, birthday June 2nd. I don't even know that I would remember that if you had asked me that before this moment. And we have a shiny new Samurai Jesse. Now fight! Got it! Right. We get our first sword-on-sword fight of the series. Get used to this, because I use this effect a lot in the series. Get a stab and a jump. I'll show off of the sharpness. Coming down, boom. Coming in for a stab, and then a power slash, driving him back. A big flash. And time passes. That wasn't a half bad fight, you two. And just have a breathing. And then, a few days later... Roar! Roar! Courtney, nice haircut. You're being chivalrous again. Sorry, I'll try to stop that. No, you won't. You're right. Rah! Rah! These are fun. And cut down the middle. A couple days later, and it was time to go. Me, Demonic, Jessica, Jesse, and Courtney set off. Destination... And next time on Hellgate, Battle 5, Peepers Tom. When a peeping Tom turns out to be Peepers Tom the Demon, Neil is forced to face himself. And here is the promised Demon Translator. So this only works for the first 10 issues. After that, I kind of revamped it a bit. But if you had this, you can basically not only read demon letters, which you've seen on like the cave walls of the Hellgate and on the Hellgate itself, but if you look at the red letters, that's whenever the demons are speaking phonetically, you can translate that over to the black letters, and that's how you get it into English. So So there's two versions. There's, you know, the top row is the English alphabet. The red is the phonetic alphabet for the demons. So when they speak, you can actually say it. And then the symbols are their own thing. Is demonic red? Yes. Although these colors aren't canon anymore. That's not how I color. I kind of changed how I colored him over time. But he has more yellow on him now than he does in this iteration. So commentary. So first we have this cover here, which I tried to do this effect where like the shine coming out from them is the only like bit of color you get. Unfortunately, like one, it'd be helpful if these lines were like straight, right? These are all crooked lines, but like it's Microsoft Paint, you know. I couldn't even zoom out to see the full image at once, you know. So there was no making a perfectly straight line in Microsoft Paint. And also Jesse's facial design here, the way his eyes are, is different than the actual issue because I make the covers, as you can see, judging by issue 5's cover being in the back of this comic, you know, I make them an issue early. So sometimes my art style would change a bit before I got to the actual issue the characters appear in. But speaking of art style, right around this time, I got a bunch of books called How to Draw Manga, and I still have them, and I do reference them from time to time. They're very good instructional books on all types of subjects. And so it definitely had an influence on my art style. And also at this point, you know, I'm still in high school. My art was changing very rapidly back then. But yeah, it's very noticeable that this is sometime later. We still haven't even gotten to the big changeover with the characters, which came because of an animation class I took in high school. We still have, we're seeing like some of the basis. Neil here still has like the shaved sideburns, which is not a thing in his design anymore. He has a random amount of spikes on top, 2 in the front, which that still exists to this day, but it becomes more standardized very shortly and stylized over time. This first section here with the tiny tots, that's because the How to Draw Manga book I had decided to translate chibi to tiny tots because chibi wasn't as widely known at the time yet. So that's why I call them tiny tots when really it's just chibi. But that term wasn't widely used in the West yet. But there was a whole section on drawing, quote, tiny tots, and I decided to use it here. And the reason why these two pages exist is because a lot of people thought that Courtney was Neil's girlfriend because of the last issue, just because he saved her. And I wanted to make it clear that that is not the case. There's not a romantic relationship between them in this issue. And actually, you can look here, Battle 4, A Planet's Plea, and you can almost see it says coming soon, but I erased that because initially I was going to just put this out as like a PSA, but I decided to just tack it at the beginning of this issue instead. I love how you change design so much from this to Heaven Gate. Well, I mean, Heaven Gate's many years away. You know, Heaven Gate started in 2009. This is still 2003, which isn't that long, I guess. But also, you know, I was younger in between Heaven Gate, while I was making Hellgate. You know, my art was rapidly changing back at that age. But it's still gradual. Like, it won't be as jarring if once we get to the end of Hellgate, like it won't be that jarring to see Heaven Gate's art after that. Their designs are aged up a bit because it takes place years later, but it's still the same art design. But yeah, okay, so getting into it, this bit that Demonic can get information from the wind, this never comes up again. It's kind of broken, and I'm glad we're just not going to talk about it. I'm just not a fan of the concept of he can just get. It was just a cop out, you know. I didn't want to have this whole scene where Neil explains like it's the year 2003. We're on a continent called North America because blah, blah blah. So much has happened 2,000 years. I was like, Demonic just fucking knows, which is stupid and cheap and creates a really big plot hole that Demonic can just get information from the wind. But this bit here is still a bit that we still talk about in Heaven Gate today. A long time ago, the demons couldn't live in light. So God shined a little light in hell. My big mistake here is I didn't explain why God would do that. Why would God shine a little light in hell? It was just there to remind the demons that they could no longer live on Earth. The Earth was no longer dark, clouded, and volcanic. The sun shined on Earth, and that they would die, or they couldn't die, they were immortal, but they would still be in burning pain. But that little light allowed, over billions of years, these immortal demons to give themselves an immunity. and that's when they broke out, and we'll see more about that breakout in later issues. This is the first appearance of Neil's ancestor, who's just called Hyeger here. He does have a first name now. I gave him a first name by the end of Hellgate, which is Bannon, but I didn't think of one here at this point, so I just go by Hyeger. And roughly, yeah, he looks like a freaking caveman, because I didn't know what clothes looked like 2,000 years ago. That's a bit of a simplification considering the Roman Empire was around back then, but I will modernize this a bit, and we'll see more of him. There'll be entire flashback issues there just about adventures he went through. And then this I got a lot of issues with this wall of text here. One, it breaks the rule of show don't tell in a comic, but also it also just really takes away a lot of storytelling elements. The fact that, like, okay, Neil has to go traveling around fighting demons, so what if the government's okay with it and they give him a car and all the money he'll need? That's really boring. Like, that really takes away a lot of, like, there's so many opportunities for storytelling in which the government doesn't understand that there's a magical boy with glowy hair and a shiny sword running around slaying whatever the hell these immortal monsters are. There's a lot of storytelling available in there. And I was just all like, nah, what if that's not an issue? And what if they, have full funding by the government and get a car instead of having to worry about where their next meal is or, how to get from point A to point B? If I was to remake Hellgate, I would definitely not do this. I would not give them a cop-out and a bottomless credit card just to make the story easier. On one hand, sometimes when I see that in stories, I get a little bored with it because I see it time and time again, like, oh, we don't have enough money, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this happens all the time in stories where people are traveling. But on the other hand, it just feels really like you can still play with that idea and make it your own. It feels really, like, disingenuous and blank. This whole issue is kind of a mess because it's just a series of stuff I want to show off. This idea that Jesse can be transformed into this, like, super samurai as a training partner. Not as an ally, because he still can't slay demons. Like, only the Hyeger sword can do that. But this doesn't come up too often, and it just feels really freaking random. So much like Neil Hyeger was Nathan Yeager in issue 1 of Hellgate, a lot of the other characters still had the names of characters they were based off of, but later I would make the change. So Jessica Edens is the name of the person that Jessica Evans is based off of, but canonically her name is Jessica Evans. Because Neil's straight up, like, the genesis for this character really was Super Saiyan Me. And then it slowly morphed into this idea of a demon slayer that had glowy golden hair. And I will address Neil. Okay, yeah. I will address... actually, one of the inspirations for his hairstyle originally was, besides the Super Saiyan thing, was Vash the Stampede from Trigun. It's why he has this, like, solid stock of hair. Later transformed to what people call the Bart Simpson hair. It becomes more obvious in a few more issues. We do have a design change on Jesse. Jesse now doesn't have the bowl cut anymore. He got a haircut. But yeah, so this is basically, I just wanted Neil to have a training partner. Although we never see them train again. Sorry, spoiler. And yeah, Jesse's samurai form is somewhat based off Kenshin, but very simple garbs. God, I have, yeah. And then this scene here, we have Courtney with a new haircut, and yeah, this random demon attacking her. There's, like, no plot reason for this to happen. It's just I wanted to draw this, honestly, in hindsight, out of character interaction. Courtney's suddenly unfazed by a giant demon after what she went through, and they have this, like, toying conversation. But yeah, but by the end, the main thing I'm showing here is Neil no longer has glasses at this point. There's these little transitions until I kind of settled on people's appearances for the most part by the end of the beginning of the Blue Flame issues. But in the Red Flame issues, there's a lot of fluctuation where I was trying to decide how these characters looked, and here I decided that Neil, got contacts. Yep, there you go. That's Battle 4. Oh, I haven't talked about this yet, but I guess it's a good time now that we have the translator. These letters here. So, fun fact. When I first put this on the first poster of Hellgate, not even the first cover, I didn't have a language planned out yet. I just put these symbols on because I thought they'd look cool. I then had to create a language, or a cipher really, around this. So I didn't know what it said, and I had to make up a language that would say something with these combination of 3 letters. And I couldn't think of what the hell Like, I needed 2 3-letter words with no letters repeating. And I couldn't think of anything good that this might be saying. And the only thing I finally landed on was die now. If you read these, if you translate this, it just says die now. Why does the cover say that? Well, if you look at the Hellgate, I decided this by issue 2. Die now says at the top of the Hellgate, which I guess is a warning of like, don't open this gate, but it's really dumb. Battle 5, Peeper's Tom. This one is the first issue to come out in 2004. I remember it came out pretty early in the year. Last time was Battle for a Planet's Plea. Demonic told about the history of the Jaeger sword and showed how he was able to turn Jesse into a fighting partner. Meanwhile, Neil, Jesse, Jessica, Courtney, and Demonic set off to slay demons at the request of the U.S. president. So yeah, last time it was pretty much just kind of getting us from issue 3 to issue time to start the actual episodic nature of this story, which is traveling around slaying demons. Jesse can become a fighting partner, and Neil's just traveling with his friends and under the government's money. And we talked about my feelings on that now last time. Here we go. Here at Hotel 228. I'm sorry, the only room we have left is a 2-bedder. Neil's obviously very nervous about this idea, but Courtney's like, we'll take it. And Courtney's just like, me and Jessica will take the beds while Jesse and Neil sleep on the floor. What kind of setup is that? Huh? Whew, Neil very relieved. And then held back by a finger. And later they sleep, and Courtney, she dreams of a hunky, beefy man. Jesse dreams of a total babe. And Neil dreams of a bowl of ramen. Oh, we can hear a shh sound effect. Shh. Oh, someone's in the shower. Who's left? Oh, it's Jessica. Oh, obligatory anime shower scene.
Damn, the window is fogging up.
Ah! What? Jessica, what is it? A peeping Tom! What are you looking at me for? The next morning. Caw! There's a bird out there, apparently. Yeah? We'll explain that later. Jessica, I'm telling you, he's probably long gone by now. I don't care. You're gonna find him, 'cause no one sees me like that unless... Yes, go on. Unless what? Unless he's much taller than you.
This is great. I'll take out Jaeger with my transformation. The Demon King will be so pleased. Behold, I am the Demon Peeper's Tom.
Are you sure you're a demon?
Of course I'm a demon.
All right, then. Epic transformation. Hold still so I can take you out quick.
Wait, I can transform into all I see. So, behold.
Doom? That's me, and I'm naked. Yeah. Give me back my glasses. I can't see. What's going on? Don't worry. I don't care if he is a demon. I'll kill him. How dare that thing show off my body like that?
Wait, this isn't right. Let me try again.
Dun dun dun. Can I face myself? That thing looks like Neil. We should stay way back. If these two Neils fight, it could get intense. Coming out with a big swing from the demon. And a stab. Then Neil's like, his moves are sluggish. This could be easy. Clash of swords. And then cut. Blood? Of course, the sword is part of his body. You're just a visual illusion. You'll go down fast. Doom? Whoosh.
He turned into me, and now he's running away.
No, he's heading for my friends.
Now, Jaeger, your friends die!
Bum bum. Bum bum. Bum bum. Vovnam! Genfail!
The Energy Dragon, an attack that uses the ground as a conductor for the Jaeger sword's energy. It's fast, long range, and powerful.
I guess we should get going. Ting. Data analysis complete. So we set off again. There we go. Then we had some extra stuff here. Doesn't really mean much now, but I'll go ahead and read it. Ask Demonic. Hand in anything you want to ask Demonic about Hellgate, and he'll answer them in the next issue of Hellgate. May not answer plot revealing answers. And then we have an ad. Again, I'll talk about this during commentary, but that's kind of hard to read at this resolution. Oliver Entertainment presents Halloween 666, The Fight Hell Wouldn't Have, coming fall 2004 to video and DVD. Oliver Entertainment and Jaeger Incorporated present Hellgate the Movie. Nathaniel Jaeger as Neil Jaeger, Mike Oliver as the Demon King, coming winter 2005, video and DVD. And then just a blank-ass page. I usually filled those, but I guess I hadn't started doing that yet. Next time on Hellgate, Battle 6, Hometown Attack. When Neil and company are out, lookalikes attack their hometown of Eureka. Alright, so commentary. First, we have the cover. Now, something I want to point out, look at the sideburns, alright? Keep that in your mind because we're going to talk about, again, as I talked about before, the covers got done like an issue early so they could be in the back of the preceding issue. So that'll be kind of a key why you need to pay attention to the sideburns here. But so yeah, so Neil's kind of sporting a new look here than he had in previous issues. Again, my art style was just moving pretty rapidly. Judging by the way the hairstyle, I still hadn't taken a particular animation class, which very much solidified the look of these characters. In fact, it might have been in the process of this issue because I think Neil actually, let me check real quick. Yeah, actually, that animation class happened while I was in while I was working on this issue because I can actually see a key change by the end of the issue. I had this idea of a funny joke where like Courtney's very blasé about, you know, these two boys, two girls will take a 2-bedroom hotel room, and Jesse thinks that means he's gonna get to snuggle up with Jessica maybe, but instead Courtney intends for the girls to get the beds and the boys to be on the floor. Seemed funny at the time. This idea of Neil dreaming about ramen, I don't fully... It doesn't come up too terribly often, but it does stick around. The idea is that Neil's favorite food is ramen. They all had favorite food at one point, but I don't remember what all those were. And it never all came up. I think it was supposed to be a thing, and I just never went through with it. So Neil liking ramen was one. I think Jesse's big thing was toast. I think Jessica was pizza, and I do not remember what Courtney's was. Maybe shrimp, actually, now that I think about it. But the only one that ever comes to fruition in Hellgate is Neil's love for ramen. This drawing here, not half bad, considering I knew shit all about anatomy back then. I think I was still in the process of making my way through the How to Draw manga books. It was kind of teaching me a bit about drawing men's and ladies differently. Also, Courtney has now dyed her hair. Her hair was not black in the last issue. Her hair will change a few times throughout the series, but this is pretty much where Courtney's hair is going to be for the Red Flame issues. So this here, G-A. So the idea here was my favorite manga, Rurouni Kenshin. Kenshin has this saying, he says, where he's like, Oro, which is O-R-O, which is like, huh? And it's like a signature thing. He's like, Oro, Oro. He does it all the time. And I tried to give Neil something like that, and it was Gah. And I don't think I ever used it past this issue. Maybe once or twice, but yeah, wanted it to be a thing, and I just didn't follow through, so it was not a thing. Peepers Tom is a goofy-ass looking demon. Real goofy looking. I had no really design philosophy when it came to the demons. It was just they gotta look not real. They gotta look not human. And that was my only stipulation, so. Oh, another thing. You might notice these markings on Neil, like the scar on his face and on his arm. I would keep track of wounds. Almost entirely Neil, one time Jesse. But yeah, Neil, if he gets scratched or cut or anything like that, I'll keep track of that. So in the next issue, it'll be scabbed over. The issue after that, it'll be a scar. And by the issue after that, it'll be gone. So these are all, scars are all from issue 3 when he was in the demon castle and fought a bunch of demons. His arms from where he was bitten by a bunch of demons, and he's got this cut on his face. So, and of course, that would also take longer if, say, certain issues took place in the same day, obviously. I wouldn't have him like miraculously have a scar heal over the course of 24 hours. But as long as issues are separated by time, I would do that. And we got the idea of this Peepers Tom can transform. Jesse can't see because his glasses have been taken away. And then my idea here, I mean, this fight's very poorly. Not many storytellers do that. I know. It kind of bothers me. Like, I'll even see it like in an anime. Like, a character will get cut and you won't even see a cut on them anymore. Like, their clothes will be fine. I'm just like, what is going? Ugh. Just annoys me. It's so takes me out of the moment. It's one thing I liked about Avatar is that like they kept track of hair growth really well. I've talked about that before. Okay, so remember I told you about the cover and to keep track of the sideburns? Sideburns are gone now. Now everybody's hair spikes. So now I have officially taken my animation class. And my animation class in high school, this was not even computer animation. There was no computer art whatsoever. So my animation class, which had nothing to do with, honestly, well, it had to do with animation. There was no computer art in my high school. So this was traditional animation. And one thing they told us was, or my teacher, Mr. Wells, said, is that I needed to simplify my designs so that I could replicate it for animation, right? So earlier in the issue, Neil just got like a bajillion hair spikes, right? And that's very hard to keep consistent from frame to frame in an animation. So I redesigned Neil in that class, and I have consistent hair spikes. And while it will look different for sure by the end of the issue, but I mean, if you look on my shirt, kind of hard on this screen, but the number of hair spikes will stay the same for the rest of the series. I'll just get better at drawing it and stylizing it. So 2 on the side, 2 in front, 6 on top. That is Neil's hair when he's transformed. It looks like I hadn't quite added this to Jessica's design yet, but Jessica's would be 2 on the side, 4 on the front. And so the traditional sideburns are gone, and now we have the hair spikes. But yeah, this fight's poorly executed, but basically the idea is that Peepers Tom can change his form, but he doesn't like gain your strength. And also the important part is like he doesn't just generate a sword out of nowhere or a shirt. That's still part of his body. Like his body transformed into a sword. So it can be cut like flesh. So I don't know what Peepers Tom thought he would be able to gain from this fight. If he thought he could intimidate his way. But some quick transformations turns to Demic, try to get away. Then for some reason, he thinks he's just going to kill off Neil's friends. I guess he's desperate. And then we have the Energy Dragon. So this is Neil's first signature technique. He'll have 4 over the course of Hellgate. And this first one, it took me, honestly, until Heaven Gate to fully realize what I had in my head for this. It gets better over the course of the series of Hellgate, but like honestly, it won't be till Heaven Gate till there's a depiction that really comes super close to my idea. So the idea is that he holds up his sword, fills it with energy, strikes the ground, and then that energy comes snaking through the ground, like really fast. And this was my first attempt at drawing that. You kind of see popping out, popping in, popping out. And then going right through his head. Yeah, here you can see Neil change back. It sure looks completely different from the beginning of this issue when he's in normal mode. Also, I will later arbitrarily decide that side spike normal Neil is only 1, not 2. So we're still not quite at a look that I can see, you know, oh, this is the Hellgate style. But we're definitely getting there. We're definitely evolving.
And then this guy here, which, you know, I won't say too much for the YouTube video, but if you've been watching my streams, you might recognize this guy because I've drawn him a bit lately. He will come into play in the next issue for sure. Ah, yes, the Ask Demonix section. I had this idea for a Q&A. Didn't go over great. We'll see the results in the next issue. I'm thinking about doing something like that for Ace Danger in December. So be on the lookout for that. Okay, and then this. These are not fake movie posters. These were actual plans. They did not come through. So the first one, I had a buddy, Mike Oliver, in high school who liked to make movies, right? And he wanted to make a Hellgate movie. I was going to be Neil, obviously. It's honestly one of the reasons why Neil's hair grows out over the course of Hellgate, because my hair was growing out and I wanted to make sure I could still be Neil in the movie. This was just a movie he wanted to make. He liked horror movies. He was going to make a Halloween movie. Yeah, Mike was going to be the Demon King. I had a script and everything. The script is in a book called Hellgate Report, which is not available online anymore because I just don't have a way of uploading that PDF. I need to find another way to get that up there. But basically, Hellgate Report was a book that I made after Hellgate was over that had like character bios going over all the story of Hellgate. How would that have worked? Would it have been anime? No, it was going to be live action. That's why I was trying to keep my hair the same as Neil's. It would have been live action. In fact, if you give me just a moment, I can show you as far as we got. Besides, I made a script, which Mike ended up turning down. And then when I thought up the story, because I thought up the script with the constraints in mind that we were a bunch of high schoolers trying to make a live action movie, right? So the script isn't great. But when I decided, and it was going to take place between a couple like issues like 9 and 10 of Hellgate or something like that, or 8 and 9. When he asked for something better, that's actually where Heaven Gate comes from. Heaven Gate is the successor to Hellgate the movie. Of course, Heaven Gate is in a scope that, you know, a bunch of amateurs could never make a movie out of. And I was going to animate Heaven Gate at one point, but I decided to go with the comic route, thankfully. But as far as we got, besides the script that he kind of shot down, was we did buy weapons. We got the Jaeger sword, and we got a dagger type weapon that the enemy, the demon that Neil would fight in the movie would wield, which was also going to double as a weapon that Mike could use for his Halloween movie, but he never. I think I even gave him that dagger. Like he didn't even pay me for it. It's kind of BS in hindsight. And this is the Jaeger sword that we got for the movie. It's roughly about the size I envision it. It's not as wide, honestly. The Jaeger sword is actually like unusually wide for a broadsword. It's probably about twice as wide as this, but the length is about right. And it's got a very similar simplistic design. Although the Jaeger sword's like all gold metal here. And this is where I was going to put like a blue marble to be like the blue gemstone at the end of the Hellgate. But the blade's not really that sharp. These pokey things here on the end of the hilt, real fucking sharp. I've scraped my hand so many times with this thing. But the other thing, I was going to have to like get good at wielding this one-handed, because Neil wields his sword one-handed. You can see it here. He always wields his sword one-handed. And this is a little heavy, so I'm kind of glad we didn't go that route. That would have been... Yeah, I saw Lord of Kirby's. Oh, God. Yeah. It would have been cringe. My God. It would have been so cringe. Reading... Battle 6, Hometown Attack. Again, how these work is I do a reading, then I'll go back and do some commentary page by page with some information about the comic issue and stuff like that. I'll preface this. This is my least favorite issue of the entire series. And I'll go into that more during the commentary, but it definitely
This issue rubs me the wrong way, and every once in a while I will go through a period where I'll start just replaying issues in my head. Like I'll be like, if I was to make Helge today, what would the story be like? And this issue gets usually I stop at this issue because it's no longer just a casual thought process, you know, when I'm in between chores or something, or brushing my teeth. It becomes like I have to dedicate time to fix this monster. Love the cover. Thank you. Cover was made in Microsoft Paint with a mouse. So this is Battle 6, Hometown Attack. This is from 2004. I made this in the summer of 2004. I remember another summer at my dad's working on this the whole summer. Last issue was Battle 5, Peepers Tom. When a peeping Tom turned out to be a transforming demon, Peepers Tom, Neil has to face himself. He learns the attack energy dragon in order to defeat the demon. So, wow, there's spelling errors in there. If you remember, Neil and company were at a hotel. A peeping Tom watched Jessica shower. When they went to face him, he was able to transform into Neil, but it turns out that was just didn't make him any stronger, and he easily went down. But in desperation, he tried to attack Neil's friends, and Neil's learned the energy dragon technique, which we might see again here. So now we open with Eureka, which I don't know if I've strictly made clear before in the comic, but that is where Neil and company are from. They're from Eureka, Illinois. We see this weird smile. Some dude just driving along, ba-doop, boop, boop. And crunch, my car. Neil, kaboof. Burning car. But the guy, I guess, survived. Could that really have been Neil? Meanwhile, somewhere at a rest stop. Man, all this driving's killing me.
I hate this wind.
Ba-ding, ba-ding. Incoming call from Mom. Hey, Mom. Earpiece, because that's easier to draw than a phone. What? Click. Demon, can you teleport us back to Eureka?
I could, but a teleport that big, there's no telling when I'd be able to teleport again.
I don't care. We have to get to Eureka now. Eureka is under attack. Many are dead. Everybody ready? Yeah. Teleport. Teleport now back in Eureka. No. Destruction, destruction, death. Some dude running up. Freddy, what's up? It's your mom. She's hurt bad. Did you... God, these lines. Hold up. I gotta stop trying to do commentary while I'm doing the reading. Minutes later, Jesse's house. Pop. Jesse's mom is dead. Oh my God, no. Neil. Yeah, bud? I can't slay demons, so you gotta get revenge for me. Sure thing.
Neil.
Did you kill all these people?
I'm not the only one.
Dum, dum, dum. We will do battle soon. Does he mean battle 6? This is a thing I started where I write in the margins. No, we will do battle now. Well, look at that. A not half bad sword clash so far. Hey, Battle 7 will have a lot of eye candy for both sexes. Why? That just ruins the pacing. Stop writing in the margins. I've never seen Neil like this before. I have. Back when I was captured by the Demon King. Not now. A little flashback here. Who is this talking anyway? Shut the hell up. God, this is so cringe. Ching! Neil loses his sword. I should pretty much narrate this, otherwise I don't know how anyone read and understood this comic. Get ready to battle and meet us outside of town. Wouldn't you like to know, huh? As in, you know, who is this talking? Wouldn't you like to know, huh? Very funny. But yeah, so keep in mind this whole we'll meet outside of town thing, because that's going to be my biggest screaming point in this issue.
Neil, get the sword and let's get ready.
So after a half hour of prepping, we have Courtney in battle mode. Ready. Jessica in battle mode. Ready. Jesse in battle mode. Ready. Looking much better than issue 4, I gotta say. If you like this, you will love the next issue. All lined up. And then these copies are all lined up. And who's that on the shoulder? They altered their appearance. They may have an advantage. Just all these wires come out of the back of them and plug into all these fakes, and then they change. Oh. Fight! Attack! Neil versus Neil. Courtney versus Courtney. Jessica versus Jessica. With their weapons of choice, a baseball bat and a plastic pipe. And Jesse versus Jesse. Focusing on the Jessica fight. They both swing their weapons above their heads. Robo Jessica goes in for a stab. Jessica jumps over it. Now's my chance. And then smacks her in the head. Boom. Jessica wins. I'm done. Courtney versus Courtney. Swing, dodge. Courtney blocks a baseball bat stab with her foot. Time to end this, and then knocks its head off. Finished. Lightning fast sword strikes from the two Jessies. He's fast. With a hard swing. Jesse is victorious. Complete. Good for you. Neil still in his fight. He's going to pull out the energy dragon. Volvnam! Volvnam! What? He can do it too? Gen fail! And then there's the energy dragon. Boom. Oh my god. Oh man, Neil is hit. First you kill my mother, then you kill my friend? I'll kill you! Stop. You asked me to get revenge. So sit back and let me. Ah! And slash right through the robot. Pass out. 3 hours later, Eureka Hospital. Demonic, who is that little metal box with those imposters? D4.0, a mechanical demon. He was pretty weak, but now in the age of computers, he has a lot of power. I bet he made those copies. Where's Jesse? He had something to take care of. Somber note. And now, if you remember, the last issue ended with a Q&A, which we'll see how that went. I'll read the Q&A now. Mike O asks, exactly how gay is Nathaniel Yeager? Demonic says, Dak, are you crazy? Don't diss the creator. He'll erase me. Jamie S asks, referring to Mike's question, more than you know. Stop! I want to live! Ian E asks, how did Neil get the sword? I missed that. Read your second issue. He got it out of the Hellgate. Jesse M asks, when am I getting my other 4 issues? Wait for it. Wait for it. Brian J asks, Nathan, why do you smell? Brian, why do you fill the room with stupid whenever you open your mouth? Pat L asks, why does the head demon look like Dracula? Does he drink blood? The myth of Dracula was born from the Demon King's image, when the Demon King first appeared back during the first demon outbreak. Lucas E asks, when will Neil go mode 3? I'll just slap him. Robert T asks, what the hell is going on with everything? I don't understand anything. Why does Jesse have saint's eyes? Dumbass, go back and read your issues. As for Jesse, he must have been affected during the demon outbreak, but I don't know for sure. Freddy R asks, is Neil ever going to lose a battle and get killed? Sure, why not, jackass? Jordy asks, how did Neil get the invisible Steeth? The invisible Steeth is actually a portal to another dimension. Only the Jaeger sword can go through it, and Neil automatically has it because of his bloodline. God, that's hard to read. Next issue is Battle 7, Spring Break. Neil and company head to Florida where with their friend Brittany. They get there right before spring break and decide to have a little fun under the sun. And that is Battle 6, Hometown Attack. Now for a doozy of a commentary on that one. First of all, cover, not bad.
Not bad for Microsoft Paint. Definitely was going what I was going for. You know, these glowing images in the darkness. So my biggest issue with this issue, I'll say going in, is the whole idea behind this issue, the whole trope I was going to go for was there are these copies that look like the main characters and they cause chaos and destruction. And so your obvious plot line with that is mistaken identity, right? The whole gang getting issue with the issue. Yes. The whole gang getting accused of a crime they did not commit, right? Classic, right? But I didn't do that. I even planned for that. Like, that was the idea behind the issue, and I just didn't write that. I did not. At no point are Neil and his friends ever mistaken as these evil robots that have gone around causing destruction that look just like them. At no point do I address that. So that's the first issue I have with this issue. Everything else is more. So that's just an overall problem I have, is that this just turned into copies fighting copies. This guy here is actually supposed to be a character, Mike Olive, although I kind of retroactively made that. He'll appear later. He has a role later, and really this inclusion doesn't really matter, but I don't know, it's just a little Easter egg. Mike Olive becomes an important character in a few more issues. So you have this opening scene where this car gets destroyed. Neil's hairstyle is becoming more cemented in this issue. Flip phone, because that's the era we were talking about then. Yeah, and also you can see Neil's hair's starting to grow out. He's kind of got some locks in the back there. He's no longer just straight boy cut in the back. But this is definitely once Neil's hair spikes became standardized. One spike on the side, 4 in the front. Although I stylize it much differently now. But that was pretty much started here. Jessica's 2 on the side, 2 in the front, 4 off the other side, or 5 off the other side. I might have actually reduced that over time. This idea that Demonic can't teleport again for a while after doing this doesn't really come up. And that's because it was actually meant to explain, and I mentioned this before, the possible live action Hellgate movie that was in talks at the time, which has been a cringeworthy home movie, honestly. So thank God it didn't happen. But I needed a reason why Demonic couldn't teleport in that movie. And so I gave this issue here that Demonic wouldn't be able to teleport for a while, but honestly it didn't come up again. We all have this destruction. Freddy's based off someone I knew in high school, so this was just another cameo to try to get people to read my comic. This weird close-up of someone opening a can. It's actually Neil opening a can of Twist soda, which is kind of my play on Pepsi Twist, my favorite soda. Also, I just love like these effect lines. They're a little rough, but God, they're so much easier now. They're a freaking button click in Manga Studio. I love it. But yeah, bold move to have Jesse's mom killed off real early off in the series. Just for shock value. Don't know if it went through. Probably didn't. This Talking Head Syndrome starts to rear its head in this issue, and Talking Head Syndrome will be a thing. Talking Head Syndrome will be an issue, honestly, with all of Hellgate, sadly. I do not break myself on that until Heavengate. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically where you spend too much of your comic with just headshots of people talking instead of interesting dynamic camera views. But unfortunately, it wasn't until college that someone kind of pointed out to me that I was doing that. And so I didn't think anything of it. Now I look back and it's obvious. God, yeah, this could definitely use more wide shots because it's really hard to tell what's going on because everything's a headshot. But we have this strange robotic Neil show up. Neil mid-transformation. First time I've drawn that. Still kind of like how it looks. Although this weird glow around Neil's eyes looks very strange. I was trying to make him look extra mad and it just did not come up through. Then we got these other robot copies. They fight. Of course, here we have Neil looks pretty different here because this is from issue 3. I actually just copy and pasted digitally the frame from issue 3 for this flashback. So here's a line I really hate. Get ready to battle and meet me outside of town. So this robotic copy, whose job is to take down the Demon Slayer, knocks the sword out of Neil's hands and then just says, okay, come, we'll finish the fight later. We'll finish the fight later. Why? Why does the bad guy walk away when he has a chance to win? I know sometimes you need that in your story, but you're supposed to write a reason why, and I just don't. It's just like, we'll fight later. It makes me so mad now. Like, what is the point? You got your first date? We'll go into this more because I'm recording this, so I'm trying not to indulge chat too much during this because this will show up on a YouTube video later. What is his transformation? So Neil's transformation is that typically he has brown hair, brown eyes, and whenever he pulls out his sword, his hair turns gold, sticks straight up, and his eyes turn blue. Definitely, like I'm not even gonna fight around it. I'm not even going to deny it. It was definitely based off Super Saiyan. But that's Neil's transformation. That's because of the demon slaying Jaeger sword he has. And so, yeah, so here we see D 4.0 on the shoulder, and then these cords come out of his back, and he kind of updates all the robots to look more like their current form. Discount Super Saiyan. Thanks. Real cool way to put it. And then we just have a fight. Here's another really funny thing. You notice how this page on the right looks weird? Yeah, that's because I didn't put the cover down on the scanner. And so, you know, the light's going through the paper and seeing the darkness of the room. And at any point, I could have put the cover down and rescanned. Would not have cost any money, wouldn't have cost any time really, but I just didn't. So forever this page looks wonky because I was too lazy to scan it again. I love your comics. Well, thank you. These are my old ones. This is a 2004 release. Actually, right around this time. Well, no, actually, I think it happened around when I was working on issue 5. I had my first girlfriend. I think by this point we had broken up. We did not have a long relationship. But yeah, then we just have these simple fights. I don't really like these fights because it's just they fight and then they win. And like the idea is that they're supposed to be evenly matched, but there's nothing that shows that, right? They just win. And I don't show any reason why they're able to outsmart their doubles. So in the end, since they just win, it just comes off as they were stronger, like the robots were weaker anyway, you know? So yeah, it's just they win because they win. This page over here was just so this page actually explains why it took so long to color covers in Microsoft Paint, because first I inverted the whole page, right? And that's how it stood it for the longest time. But then this is what happens when you try to use the fill bucket. It does this because Microsoft Paint does not have any layers at all. So, and also it doesn't allow you to change the sensitivity on the fill bucket. So when you use it in Microsoft Paint on a scanned piece of paper, this is it. This all the area that you see is just me hitting the button once, and all this stuff I didn't get is because those were slightly different shades of black than what I clicked on. This page looks cool in my opinion. I still, you know, it definitely sticks out for sure. It's the first time I was really trying to use effects. And this is probably the first example of me playing with effects, you know, which I do all the time now. And then Neil's just okay. Some people thought he was like cut in half by the energy dragon. That's not the case. It just slashed him up the front pretty badly. And then he just wins. Why? Because he just swings his sword harder. So again, it just kind of bums me out that I didn't take the time to show why they were able to win. They just happened to win. Oh, yeah, but Demon explains it right here. I bet he made those copies. So D 4.0 manufactured those copies. But you're right. There could have been more explanation on where they came from, what their motives were, but there wasn't because I didn't know how to write back then. And this Q&A, honestly, mostly just my friends messing with me. Like these were my readers at the time, you know. I had no way of putting it online. So I was just printing off issues for my friends in high school, and most of them paid half attention. Some didn't pay attention at all. Some used it as a coloring book with pastels of all things. Smearing. The only serious question I got was from Jordy right here. How did Neil get the invisible sheath? Which I explained. That was kind of the whole point of this question A thing, is I realized there were certain things I had not explained yet. And so I used a Q&A to try to explain that. But I love how the first question is stupid. Yep, that's how they were back then. Patrick's was a good question. Why does the demon look like Dracula? Does he drink blood? That's a good question. And I was able to explain a little bit about the lore there. Lucas asking about mode 3. That's because Neil will have multiple transformations throughout the series, and I was already sketching them at school. So Lucas had seen that there's a mode 3 and was asking like when that's going to happen. I was like, no, it's a spoiler. Shut up. But most of the questions were like, I have no idea what's going on, which in does he drink blood though? That's a good point. I was realizing that as I was reading that back later, I never actually addressed that part of the question. And the answer is no. The demons don't have a need to eat because they're immortal. Some of them may eat for the sensation, but I've never had the Demon King seek out someone to drink their blood. He should. He probably should. It probably would have been more interesting, but it just never came up in the series. I never had a need to show him preying on people. But yeah, a lot of the questions just came off as either people making fun of me or stuff that was explained, which, I mean, at the time I was like, dude, just read your old issues. It's right there. Now I look back and it's like, yeah, I can understand why people wouldn't understand this. Yeah, and here's my Microsoft Paint cover of 7. No blending, just got to use spray can. I mean, honestly, that semi see-through like skirt or scarf thing she has tied around her waist was pretty amazing at the time. That took some technical know-how, considering that was not as easy as it would be in later programs. You can see again, Neil still has the signs of that wound he got from the energy dragon from the fake Neil. But we shall cover all that in Battle 7 Spring Break. Battle 7 Spring Break from 2005, so our 3rd year of Hellgate at this point. And trying to remember, I think it came out around Spring Break. I think it lucked out that way, which means we went quite a ways. I remember sitting on this issue for a while. I remember me and my mom moved out from because she got a divorce, so we weren't living with my stepdad anymore. And I remember this just kind of sitting in my room at the apartment me and mom lived in, just not getting worked on. I just kind of fell out of working on it. And I'll go more into that in the commentary. So Battle 7, Spring Break. Last time on Hellgate, a mechanical demon, D4.0, created copies of Neil, Jesse, Jessica, and Courtney. After one of them killed Jesse's mom, Neil and the others were about to take them out, but not before Neil got hit with the energy dragon. So now we have driving along, doodle-doo-doo-doo, down the interstate. Jesse's like, why is she here? This is actually someone we've seen before, but they're completely different now. She needed a ride to her sister's in Florida, and we were heading that way. Plus, I'm hoping to see Neil in action again. So, flashback to issue 3. Rah, what the hell just happened? This is Brittany, who we saw in issue 3, but her hair is completely different now. Because why could this be clear? You've changed a lot, Brittany. You too. But we're a week early for spring break. We'll miss all the chicks. Yeah, but this way we beat the crowds. Beach. Dressing rooms. Oh, it's time for some fan service. There's Neil taking off that shirt. Oh, there go the pants on Courtney. There go the pants up on Jesse. And there's Jessica. Not on model with this proportions, let me tell you. Tying that up, and there's Brittany. And we have Brittany and Jessica playing volleyball in the water. Courtney sunbathing. This is hilarious.
This is not funny.
Got sand demonic mermaid. And then, oh yeah, surf's up Neil. He can surf apparently. Still sporting the wounds from that. And oh, what's this? What's this back there? Neil's got a ponytail now. But then, a demon. A demon. Time for action, Neil. Neil? Neil? Twitch. Ah! Oh no! Brittany's been captured. New. He pulls the sword out, his clothes change, and then boom! Transform. A hero on the beach can't look fully clothed on the beach. Just a second, Mr. Demon. You must be kidding. 1 minute later. Okay, I'm ready. No, take your time. No hurry. We got shirtless Neil fighting on the beach. Don't you dare throw me. I was actually just thinking about this scene as we worked on Ace Danger today, because it's another throwing scene. This time it was butt first, though. My butt was in his face. You're gonna pay for that. Jump up. Coming through the tentacles and slash. And boom. Silhouette. Got the demon. Into the water. Got him. When did you get out here? She's totally clueless. What's with all the noise? Another wall text. After Jesse and Brittany got a haircut and Jesse switched glasses for contacts and I switched contacts for glasses, we said goodbye to Brittany and went on our way again. Bye. So then we got the new look for a few people walking down the street, and then oh, his eyes are. Neil, that ice cream vendor's a demon. Cuts off his head. Thank God Jesse was right. Neil? Kelly? What? Who? We'll go into that in commentary. Extra page. Next time on Hellgate. Battle 8, False Love. Demons interrupt Neil's date and Demonic sees something he maybe shouldn't have. And then we have this at the end. The first one of these of 4, planned 5. Which is like, so the idea behind this is that you would print this out, or actually it would be printed out back then. This was before I did digital issues. But you could cut it up, and then you would have like this portrait, and then you have all these little squares. You could put them in your wallet. You know, it was before smartphones where we carried all our pictures in our digital devices. You would carry your pictures in your wallet. So the idea was that these were like little wallet-sized photos that you could carry around. We got Brittany and Jessica being buddy-buddy, the 3 girls, demonic flexing, Neil and Courtney, something going on there. Brittany being very affectionate with Neil, making Neil nervous. And then Jesse all alone. And God, that did not render well. So, commentary. So, the hippo to the left of the side. So when I first got this website going and I decided I was going to have this explanation page to the left of each issue, I decided that hippo was going to look like he was drawn in the style of whatever issue. Hippo won't appear for many more issues. So in the first few issues, I drew him as if he was drawn with like a classic sharpened number 2 pencil, because that's what I used for the first few issues. At this point, I had switched to a mechanical pencil, so I drew Hippo again, but with a mechanical pencil. And that will continue out. In fact, this might actually be how he looks for the rest of Hellgate, but you'll see him change quite a bit in Heavengate as Heavengate's art style changes. But yeah, this was an issue where I kind of fell off of it. So for years, right, I had made comics and stuff, and very few of them ever ended, right? I was kind of used to that. I would pick up a project, get bored with it, and drop it. And I always felt like Hellgate would eventually end up that way too, because they all did. Thankfully, Hellgate didn't. But this was kind of the first point where it almost did. Like, I just lost interest in working on Hellgate during this issue. I remember that surfing page just sitting out in my room for like months. But I did eventually finish it, and it actually started the first part where I got really into working on Hellgate, so much so that I was putting out an issue a month for a while. There's 2 sections of Hellgate where I was able to do that. But these outfits, I had the idea for the main gang to have these like traveler outfits, right? With a combination of like coats and sunglasses. And so Jesse's got like a leather coat on, and he's got like these Squirtle like sunglasses, right? If you've seen the Pokemon anime. Jessica's in a blue cape for some reason with normal sunglasses. Neil's got a red cape and has like these orange sunglasses like Vash the Stampede. And then Courtney also has similar sunglasses but with a long trench coat like coat. And let me tell you how much this stayed a thing. You never see it again. That comes up a lot in the early series. Ooh, Squirtle Squad. Yeah. Actually, I based Jesse's glasses off Toguro from Yu Yu Hakusho, but everyone said Squirtle Squad because they're virtually identical. And I just went with that because people know that one way better than Toguro from Yu Yu Hakusho. But yeah, then we have this changing scene. And I talked about this. Jessica's not a model here. Jessica does not have that huge of endowment. I've always considered her to be on the smaller side, but like she always had a more petite build. Yep, there we go. That's the Squirtle Squad. But I wasn't good at drawing that. Like, it may sound weird, but like drawing small breasts was something I had to learn how to do. Not because I favored large, but because just the way I drew them automatically made them look much bigger than I was intending. So that's something I had to kind of teach myself. So Jessica looks way more endowed here than she's supposed to. And yep, Jesse fan service. Enjoy. There's some Jesse crack. Actually, these swimsuits. So Jessica's the more flirtatious one. She has a bikini. The real Courtney, because a lot of these characters are based off friends of mine, had the idea that she preferred the old style 20s full body swimsuit with a skirt. So that's why I gave her that. And then the real Brittany actually designed this swimsuit herself. She actually drew it in my notebook, and I based it off that. I didn't quite get it right, but... And then Neil has a ponytail now. His hair is long enough. He's got a little ponytail, about as long as my hair is right now. And he'll have it for the rest of the series. That's Neil's thing. He's got a ponytail. So, and it's the first time it shows up. This demon attacks, and I just kind of have this fun... Like, I wanted Neil to fight, like, in just his shorts on the beach, but I've already established that when Neil pulls his sword out, his outfit changes to the blue shirt and blue jeans. So I had to have him make a funny moment where he decides to strip down. Sort of bitch. This is actually interesting. So this style for Neil's hair here is pretty close to the final outcome, honestly. I was definitely starting to get into the flow of how I wanted to draw it. 2 spikes, 2 in the front, but it's not just the spike number. We've talked about that before, but just the way they flow, the way they're shaped. That's starting to come together here. And I actually remember being at my dad's, like sitting on the couch while they were all watching a movie and working on these pages here. And then, you know, I don't know why I had this idea, but Jessica and Courtney completely missed out on the whole fight. Can't draw small breasts either. Yeah, right. It takes like... It's an annoying problem to have, right? Because a lot of people, especially when I was in high school, would like accuse me of being like perverted, like, oh, you just like huge titties. It's like, that's not it. Honestly, that's really not it. It's weird to think that smaller is harder to draw, but that's because I don't know. Large, you know, like you just draw the shape, right? You get the shape right, but small, you have to learn how to portray the breasts without fully. It's almost the lines you don't use, honestly. The lines you don't use are what's important when it comes to drawing small breasts, because you may not be trying to make them look flat, but you definitely have to show restraint in the lines you use, because if you do too much of an outline, that automatically implies largeness and, you know, like they're sagging a bit because of gravity, and small breasts, very small breasts won't. So it's something I had to teach myself through observation. Not the worst thing in the world. Yeah, and then this weird sentence here, just me explaining the fact that I decided to change Neil and Jesse around. Jesse's got this crazy hairstyle that will slowly phase out because I hate it. But I decided to get rid of Jesse's glasses, and I decided to give Neil glasses back. But they're different. They're actually shaped like my glasses, because this is the style I like. I basically found a style of glasses that I thought looked good without looking... I just like how they look. And I decided to give them to Neil. But then we have Jesse using his eyes again to see that someone's disguised as a demon. And then we have this new character, Kelly. We'll learn more about her next time. I hate this drawing. I hate it. First of all, look how sketchy that jawline is. It's so pointy. And also, this neckline. Why is it all the way to the left like that? Her neck looks thick as shit, bro. Her neck is a heckin' chonker. And this feels like an issue I noticed almost immediately, but didn't get around to fixing. It's just like, I agree, fat neck is weird. Yeah, it's really weird. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I didn't fix it. It would have been really easy. And this is the first time you'll see this, not the last time, but whenever I have a uneven number of pages, I would just draw myself. So this was, and I would draw myself as I looked at that exact moment. So we've actually seen this shirt on the stream. I'm wearing a Dragon Ball Z t-shirt, my gray one. And yeah, it looks like I had bigger glasses then. So I had identified that I like small glasses, but I had yet to get them, getting new glasses to the smaller size that I've used ever since. That's interesting. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, cover for next issue, which seems to suggest something about Kelly in this, and I kind of went over this when I during the reading. But yeah, that is Battle 7, Spring Break. Battle 8, False Love. This one's from 2005. Last time on Battle 7 Spring Break, Brittany joined up with the gang as they took a break on the beach. Unfortunately, a demon crashed the party. After parting ways with Brittany, Neil runs into a girl named Kelly. Their connection is unclear. And we begin with a bit of a flashback. This black border means flashback. You are Kelly Drews, correct? This better not be a waste of my time. You lived in Eureka, Illinois until your parents moved here. Yeah. Whoop. And you were once a couple with Neil Hyeger. I only went out with that nerd because he bought me stuff. What does this have to do with anything? Why'd you ask me here? Because I think you may be of some help to us. Dun dun dun. Meanwhile, at this here hotel, back in present day. But then she had to move, and we had to break up. Big old heckin' schmooch. Ooh, that's rough. Old art. Ain't it something? Oh my god. Random bunny. Cute. Moving scenes to the city. The couple goes, the newly rekindled couple goes for a walk. What's wrong, Neil? It's just, we've never kissed before. And I always regretted that. You didn't mind, did you? Nope. There's a big rumbling. Oh, this was cool. Boom! The first 2-page spread in the series. The little author's note of wee, because I was still doing that at the time. Then Neil pulls out the sword and transforms. Volvnam? Jinfail! Starts out with an energy dragon. The energy dragon tears through the demons. Then a legit dragon shows up. What the hell is going on here? Ugh! Yes. And then chomp on his arm. Ah! Try to swing your sword now. Hey, dumbass, I'm left-handed. Slashes him across the eyes. Damn. And slice through the dragon's neck. And we cut to nightfall. Neil asleep. See, his hair is much longer now. Demonic gets up.
The Ritz friends Uthquent Finn.
Walking through the dark. Then, oh, what's this? That stupid dragon injured the wrong arm.
Ox Pinsrimp.
Mm-hmm.
Yorks.
Don't let him escape.
Neil!
I'm sorry. Extra page. So we end on a cliffhanger. So next time, Battle 9, Evil Plan in Motion. Everyone searches for Demonic. Meanwhile, Kelly slowly leads Neil to his death. So let's talk about it. First, this cover. I got crap from this cover when it first came out. again, the way I make these covers is I drew them by hand with pencil, and then I would scan them and then color them with a mouse in Microsoft Paint. This is around the time I started. I used to like draw the letters by hand and then color around them, which made them look very jumpy and weird. These up here are definitely still showing that, the title at the top. But down here, you can tell that I kind of just opted to color in all black and then color the letters on top, so they look a little bit neater. But the flack I got was, you have the two sides of Kelly. Oh, she's sweet. Oh, she's evil. And someone's like, yo, why, how come when she evil, her boobs are pointier? I'm like, cause shut up. Cause I'm a bad artist. Leave me alone. What a boring cover. So much empty space. Yeah, then this is the first appearance of the Demon King's personal butler. We'll see him a little bit. He never becomes a main character, but he's reoccurring. You'll see him from time to time in the series. We have this flashback that shows that Kelly and Neil used to date when they were young, but she moved away. She's not a good person, and it seems that the demons have found out that she has a connection to Neil and now want her working for them. This kiss, I remember drawing this kiss and being like, whoa, I drew a kiss. It's so rad. And now it's like, ooh, man, that's rough. Ooh, that's rough. Random Bunny. I thought it was funny at the time. I know he comes back a couple times. Just, it's extra weird when you're reading it out. You also get to see everyone's reaction. Jesse is completely amazed by seeing this kiss. Courtney's just nonplussed, and Jessica thinks it's rad as hell. So this is interesting here. Something I clearly remember. Notice how the frames are a little jumbled here, like there's a lot of weird space in here. Sometimes, like I plan a page out, right? I have thumbnails I sketch out, and so it flows, or I get a look ahead of time. Back then, I think this was even before I even really made notes, so I would just draw as I went, as I was thinking up what would happen in the issue, which is a terrible idea. And what would happen sometimes is I would imagine that these two frames on the left would be two frames, right? And then on the right would be one solid frame, right? One tall frame. And so, you would go upper left, bottom left, and then the right frame. But sometimes, after already drawing those two frames on the left, I would decide to split the two frames on the right. But as a result, because I didn't think about the fact that I've done that, the frames would go upper left, upper right, bottom right, which is not how you should read a comic. If there's 4 panels like this, it would be upper left, upper right, bottom left, bottom right. And I would only realize that after drawing it. And so I had to go in Microsoft Paint and basically cut and paste and switch the frames around. But, they obviously don't belong where they're sitting. That's why they're just so awkwardly shaped. It's not the last time that will happen. This 2-page spread, I was really proud of this, even though it's like very simple now. Like there's no detail in those buildings whatsoever. There's no background. Just the idea of all these like worm demons coming straight at you was really cool to me. I was like, whoa, I made a 2-page spread. So rad. Got Neil using the energy dragon, which by the way, in the demon language, he's saying energy dragon. We got the fight, and I thought it was kind of clever to have a demon take out his right arm because most people are right-handed, while in fact Neil's left-handed, so that didn't really matter to him. And then he takes it out, so just kind of... here, Neil's hair getting longer. It was short in the first issue. Now we're in issue 8. It's really starting to grow out. And again, that was because I wanted his hair to match mine, which I was also growing out at the time, because there was a plans for a possible live-action home movie of Hellgate, and I wanted to play Neil. Demonic here, he's speaking the demon language because my thought process is, he's by himself, he's not talking to humans, why not just use demon language? I don't remember what he says, and I don't feel like translating it. It's probably just something as simple as, I need to go take a pee, and then, what's this, and oh god, or oh no, or oh crap. Just nothing important. But yeah, we see that Kelly is talking to the Demon King through this flame cube, and Demonic has witnessed that, and now he has been captured. This is the first instance of the flame cube. We won't see it much in Hellgate. It's how the Demon King keeps track of what Neil's doing. It's kind of his way of like distance vision. We will actually, the pages I'm working on for this new issue of Heavengate, actually I'm having to draw that. And once again, whenever I had an uneven number of pages, I would just draw myself and apologize for the extra page. I would draw myself exactly how I looked at that time. So looks like I was just wearing some boxers and I had my hair down. So this was probably like, I was probably drawing this like right before bed. And this was right around the time where Hellgate picked up speed in terms of release. I got, issue 7 took me months to make because I just kind of fell out of it. But starting with issue 8 and going on, I want to say till maybe like issue 14 or something. I was coming out with these monthly. That was really exciting. Once a month, I had a new issue for my readers, which were so far just people I knew in high school. I would print out paper copies for people. But yeah, that is Battle 8, False Love. Thank you for that, Redeem Luna. So this is Battle 9, Evil Plan in Motion. This is from 2005 is when this one released. Last time was Battle 8, False Love. Neil gets his right arm hurt by a demon. Demonic finds out that Kelly is working for the Demon King. Unfortunately, he is unable to get back to tell the others. And that's essentially all that happened last time. Some demons attacked. Turns out Kelly and Neil used to be a thing long ago. Now she's back, wants to be a thing again. But what Neil doesn't know is that she's working for the Demon King. Damn it, where the hell is he? He's not in the hotel, and he's not anywhere outside here either. Why would Demonic just disappear like this?
Yoo-hoo! One of us is real, the other is not. One of us knows where Demonic is, the other has a thing for the Olsen twins.
Phew. Courtney, Jesse, Jessica, go after the one heading away from the city. Kelly, come with me after the one heading into the city. Jesse, hurry in and get our weapons. Right. Ah! Gotcha.
Okay, I'll talk. Demonic is being held at the Experimental Robotics Compound.
I know that place. My parents work there. You humans won't make it that far.
You fell for it.
It's a fake. Duh. What do you mean, duh? You had no idea. Sure I did. We followed the second demon. The first demon said, one of us knows where Demonic is. The second one said, the other one has a thing for the Olsen twins. When the second demon said that, he blushed, showing that he was not the real one, but the one that liked the Olsen twins. I thought you knew. Now you're in trouble. Only Jaeger can slay demons. Oh no! Neil's friends attacked by random demons. Meanwhile, back with Neil, the sun is setting. As Neil transforms, and all the wrapping comes off his wound. You're nowhere near fast enough to beat me. You've never seen me fight. Such a fool. Oh. Ah! Slashes him right in the back. Neil can't hit him. He's insanely fast. I have to slow him down. Clinch. I have an idea. It's gonna hurt like hell, but it's the only chance. Die, Jaeger! Oh my God, what happened? You used your own arm as a shield? Wait a minute. My hand is stuck. Let go! Let go! I don't think so. Stab. It looks like these guys got beat up. We may not be able to slay them, but I think we did okay. I hope Neil is doing okay. Now it is dark.
Hop on my back, Kelly. We're heading for the compound. The fool has no idea. Next time on Hellgate, Battle 10, a new demon. Kelly is finally able to lead Neil into a trap, but a new demon shows itself. And that is issue 9 of Hellgate. I still like this cover. I mean, I can draw it way better now, but I like the idea. It shows, she's manipulating Neil. I like Puppet Neil. The green spiral was just because I wanted something back there besides a solid color, which is a nice touch. Again, these covers were made in Microsoft Paint with a mouse, so I had very limited. This outfit Neil's wearing is actually the same outfit he wore in issue 3. That is why it's got like stitching on the front and one leg is shorter than the other, because he was very much messed up in issue 3. And for some reason, I felt like Neil would keep those clothes and just have them mended. Why? I don't know. You just throw out shirts. This ain't the olden times. It's a t-shirt from Walmart, probably. I don't know why you felt the need to get it stitched up. And yeah, Kirby, you asked who the Olsen twins are. I don't blame you. So, do you know the Marvel movies? Scarlet Witch is played by Elizabeth Olsen. Go back to the 90s, and she had 2 very popular older sisters who were twins, Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. They started on a show called Full House, where they, as a baby, they played the same character, which is often what you do with babies as you get twins, so that you can switch them out on set when one gets too fussy. And then they went on to be popular in their own right. They kind of grew up on the show to be like young kids. They had a personality that people loved. And they went on to have like their own series of direct-to-tape show called the Mary-Kate and Ashley Detective Agency. And then they had their own sitcom, teen drama type thing when they were teenagers. They're not in the public eye anymore. I think one does fashion, but they had a bad time with it. One had developed an eating disorder, and I actually watched the Mary-Kate and Ashley Detective Agency tape I own. I rewatched it somewhat recently, and just all the previews for it is just, oh yeah, they were also in a buttload of movies. I forgot about that. I just see so much that they were in at a young age, just so much. Everything was being pushed. Those kids were absolutely exploited. I do not blame them for not wanting, for being out of the public eye, for not pursuing acting anymore. Like, I definitely seems like they probably had a bad childhood because of their popularity. And they're not in the new Full House reboot or continuation, I guess, on Netflix either. They probably don't have as fond of memories of the show as everyone else does. But yes, I was surprised too, but Elizabeth Olsen is the little sister of Mary-Kate and Ashley. Not only that, but the tape I have of the Mary-Kate and Ashley Detective Agency, they talk about their little sister Liz for a brief moment, and you see a very young Elizabeth Olsen for a brief moment eating spaghetti. So that is who the Olsen twins is. They used to be big. Anyway, yeah, so we got these 2 demons. One's a fake, one's real. One knows where Demonic is. One likes the Olsen twins. And I kind of realized immediately, I'm like, well, that gives it away. He's blushing because he likes the Olsen twins. Therefore, he's not the real one. But the other characters don't realize that. So Neil, for some reason, chases him down, not transformed. That just hit me just now as I was reading it. I was like, why didn't Neil transform? He's like, he can run at like 70 miles per hour when he's transformed. This is just him normal. He can run, I don't know, as fast as a high school student. A mediocre high school student at that. Then we got this demon, who we actually will see in this issue of Heavengate that I'm working on. He doesn't have a name. I just call him the Heartagram Demon because I give him the Heartagram. And that's because I associate the Heartagram with Bam Margera's, who had a show at the time, and he annoyed the shit out of me. I couldn't stand Bam Margera's. He just had a whole show where he was just really shitty to people and shitty to his parents. And so this was my way of being like, I'll stick this symbol on a bad guy. I made a statement that day. He's got very weird design. We'll talk about his design here in a second. Of course, yeah, Jesse realized the whole thing about the fake demon. Then we got some random minor demons attacking the group. And they're right, only the Jaeger sword can slay demons. Any other wound you give to a demon, it will heal from. They are immortal. But the Jaeger sword can actually cause permanent damage that then causes them to be slain and absorbed into the sword before they can be returned to the Hellgate. And this is actually the first time, and I will do this quite a bit especially in Heaven Gate, which has more concurrent plot lines. But we're switching back and forth between two events. That didn't happen too much in Hellgate, because Hellgate had a pretty focused follow. It usually just followed Neil. But I'm just kind of realizing this is the first time I've kind of did that, which became a staple in Heaven Gate. But yeah, we can see a demon a bit more now. He's got like one hand with like really long claws, just the weirdest design on his stomach. Just, he's got like, yeah, he's got a mohawk. There's a lot going on here. Definitely from the throw random shit together design era for me. I do kind of like this fight. You know, you definitely get the feeling like Neil can't hit him. Here's another instance. I talked about this before. This is another instance where I drew the frames out of order and had to edit it on the computer. It's less noticeable here. The frames actually still kind of mesh together. But yeah, this was another case where I just went top left, bottom left, top right, bottom right when I drew it, because the way I was mapping it out in my head, I wasn't expecting the right not to be one frame, and I made it two after the fact. So, but again, if a character is wounded, which is usually Neil because he's the one that fights, I will keep track of that wound for several issues. So this is the bite he got in the last issue. Also, I tried to show that the sun was setting by the shading. This shading is just so ugly. It's just pencil scratches all over the page. It's so bad. This I was very proud of. This foreshortening, this was definitely outside of my typical skill range at the time. This would still give me troubles, honestly. But yeah, that was my idea, is that, and I attribute this because Neil gets beat up. Neil gets fucked up in this series, slashed and stabbed through the arm and stuff like that. I blame Inuyasha, man. Inuyasha got messed up in a lot of episodes and he just walked away from it. Of course, he was supposed to be half demon, and Neil's just, I don't know, the demon slayer. So I give him some credit, but man, that would really mess up your arm to just have that big of puncture wounds go through it, man. You would just lose the use of that hand. But it'll be fine. I'll walk it off. Give him a couple issues. It'll heal. But yeah, it's kind of brutal, but he basically shields the attack with his arm and then holds the demon in place to get the slay in. And then we see that the little gremlin demons just kind of get beaten up and tied up by Courtney, Jesse, and Jessica. And then we see here, if you look closely, Neil's suddenly shirtless or sleeveless. So the idea here is that he ripped the sleeves off of his shirt and used it to make a tourniquet for his arm. And then he tucked his shirt in for reasons that will become apparent next issue. And yeah, this is so ugly, that shading. But yeah, just them running off into the night. That's how Neil runs. Neil Naruto runs, by the way. And this is, I can't say this is pre-Naruto because I started Hellgate as soon as I read the first Shonen Jump issue. But the Naruto run predates Naruto, is my thing. I first saw the Naruto run in Inuyasha. No, Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z. Teen Gohan and Goten run that way briefly in one episode in the Buu Saga. That was the first time I saw people running that way. And then Inuyasha does it all the time. And then Naruto comes along and defines it by having literally every character do it. But it is also how Neil runs because fuck it. And yeah, and next issue is issue 10, which is the last issue of the Red Flame issues, the Red Flame saga. That is Battle 9, Evil Plan in Motion. So this is Battle 10, A New Demon. Last time on Hellgate, Battle 9, Evil Plan in Motion. I get close. We had, while searching for demonic, Neil and Kelly run into a demon. Neil defeats the demon, but not without some major injuries. They now are heading for the experimental robotics compound where demonic is thought to be captured at. So yeah, when we left off, Neil and Kelly, which if you need a reminder, Kelly is Neil's ex-girlfriend who he recently met up with again, and turns out she's working for the demons.
And now they're heading for the experimental robotics compound where little demonic, Neil's little helper fairy type thing, is said to be captured. We're almost there. How's your arm? It hurts a little. Like it matters. You'll be dead soon anyway. Here we have, oh, my sweet establishing shot. God, that's definitely art that deserves half the page. So gorgeous. God forbid I use a ruler or something to make the line straight. Moving on. Let's see here. There we go. Door opens. The main testing room is just ahead. It will all be over soon. Got some strange robot. And some map, right? Let's get the main testing room in the middle. Entrance, and then a side corridor that moves up to the second floor. The control room with the window that overlooks the main testing room. Cool robot. There's another hall over here. What's this hole in the floor? Put your sword in it. Why? It's a switch, trust me. All right. Shing! Clamp. It's stuck! Kelly, it's stuck! Kelly? Neil, come back in the main room. Yeah? Stop trying to make God happen. God's never going to happen. Well, where are you? Oh, his hair. He untransformed. It must be too far from the sword. Shund. The door to the sword closed. Shund. The exit closed too. You're such a fool. Kelly, quit playing around. You fell for it so easily. I've never loved you. It's all been a trick the whole time. And now that I have you trapped and away from your sword, I'll kill you. Kelly, why? I'm working for the Demon King. Aw, are you gonna cry? I've used a lot of guys before, but it's always been for small things, just some things I wanted. But after this, I'll be treated like a queen. And I didn't even have to sleep with you. Be angry all you like. Nothing can save you now. Oh shit, the robot's up. Oof, that's a rough looking robot. What do you think you're doing? Warning. What's this? According to the Demon King's data, there are two types of energy, holy and demonic. Demonic is possessed by all demons. Holy, however, is more rare, possessed only by God, demonic, and the Jaeger sword and its wielder. But according to this, Neil is creating demonic energy? Whoosh, clinch. Oh, the sword came flying out into his hand. What's with his hand? It's different. Ah. What's going on? Ah! Glass shatters. And we end on a cliffhanger. Next time on Hellgate, Battle 11, Human Blood. I am Neil Jaeger. I slay demons. I protect humans. Then why am I a demon? And why have I killed a... Boom. That ends issue 10 and also ends the Red Flame issues of Hellgate. So yeah, once again, these covers were drawn by hand in pencil, then scanned, and then colored with a mouse in Microsoft Paint. But yeah, once again, I cringe at the shading. It's just so messy. But yeah, I already made this comment before. My God, just use a freaking ruler, Jaeger. My God. So yeah, I would have been 17 when I drew this. And yeah, this map was my attempt to try to show how the space worked, because I was not good at drawing a space yet, you know? Yeah, I remember drawing this in class. I always drew at home. I mean, I drew at school, but I always worked on the comic at home. But for whatever reason, I was really into this issue, and I actually started working on it in class. Because I remember some kid looking at this and like, oh, when he gets far from the sword, his hair turns back. I'm like, yeah. Cool, I conveyed that. We can see Neil's hair's gotten quite long since the beginning of the series. He had short hair at the beginning. Although when his hair's transformed, it doesn't change much throughout the series. But yes, and we have the reveal of Kelly. I remember in Discord, Kirby, when you did your drawing of Kelly, you said, hopefully a good written character. And I'm like, not really. She's just evil. She's just an evil lady. The expressions here are all over the place. I still wasn't that quite good at conveying what I wanted. But this, I'm still kind of proud of this. But to be fair, I didn't trace or copy, but I definitely looked at a very detailed reference, which was very rare back then. And what's funny is this is actually a drawing of, is actually a base of drawing of Yami Yugi. It was on a cover of Shonen Jump, and he was like, he's holding one of the Yu-Gi-Oh cards up in the air. He was like weirdly buff. I don't know why Yugi gets buff when he gets really serious about cards, but that's what I referenced for this, and I still like it. The mouth's a little wonky, but this is also where I introduced the concept of holy and demonic energy, which I hadn't established yet. I mean, early on in the series, I just thought as Neil's having just energy, like generically, like almost like Dragon Ball Z. But a friend asked me, it was the same friend who wanted me to make a script for a movie for Hellgate. He wanted me to think of like a card game idea, and it didn't go anywhere, but it did make me start thinking. And I was like, well, yeah, well, there'd be energy cards, and some could be holy and some could be demonic. And that what gave me the idea to have these two opposing energy types, holy and demonic, which is a holy and demonic, that two energy system in the world is instrumental in the plot going forward all the way up to the current series. But this is the first time I mentioned that there are two energy types. Holy energy is white and demonic energy is black. This I was very proud of at the time. There's a lot going on here. He still has that wound on his arm from last time where he got stabbed through the arm. And so this is just blood's just gushing out of it as he transforms. He gets ripped as hell. This is why his shirt got tucked in the last issue, because I wanted to have his shirt tearing off like this. And I think my reference for this was Yusuke in Yu Yu Hakusho. There are times where he just like powers up so much his shirt tears away like this. And yeah, this is Neil's demonic form, ripped, black eyes, got these eye markings, he's got fangs, he's got claws. There's a bit wilder. So the inspirations for this second form. The original inspiration was Super Saiyan 2, obviously, because Neil's original inspiration was Super Saiyan. And that's where the buffness comes in. And then the second inspiration, which has his eyes darken and the eyes marking, that inspiration is actually demonic Inuyasha when he goes full demon. And then the third inspiration with the diamond-shaped eyes, although it took me probably till the end of... Honestly, I didn't perfect it until after the series was over in terms of the eye shape. But the diamond-shaped eyes, and something later, well, I'll talk about when we get to that issue, is from Rurouni Kenshin. Whenever Kenshin snaps and goes all evil and his eyes kind of get this really like narrow, almost diamond-y shape, at least in some of the drawings. So it's kind of a culmination of those three things kind of came together. And there's a slight change in his sword. His sword gets a little like narrower there at the where it meets the handle. But yeah. And then next time we will do we'll be starting the Blue Flame issues.
Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, make sure you hit the like button, and I'd love to read your comments below. And make sure you're subscribed so you know when the next comic goes up. Also, check the description for a playlist of any readings you may have already missed. And if you'd like to read ahead, all of these comics are free on my website, YagerComics.com. Bye!